camera's out of funk. Bear with me. There we go. Hello there. Okay. I'm going to be up front. First of all, I'm just going to check them. Yeah, I have got my microphone on. Okay. I've changed my stream layout as far as how it looks to me. So I've just been getting the hang of it. Bit of a weird thing to do, like, on the fly, but I did it last night and I was like, I like the idea. So it was just checking to see if it works. And it did. Alright. But yeah, everything as far as I can tell is working correctly. So very positive. I've got my YouTube chat here. Hopefully that's working. Let me just type in hello there just to see if it works. Okay. In the meantime, let's get the game up. I think everything's right. I've got some funny reactions from my stream deck, but everything else seems to be working okay. Oh, wrong button. Alright, I just thought to myself, I'll get Swagger GG up on my screen just so that I can use it if I want to, but yeah, completely the wrong way. Alright, let's get the game screen on. I mean, I'll be honest, I've not focused too much on it for the simple fact. I've obviously got sympathy and it's very disheartening to hear that things like this are happening in the world, but equally there's a point where you kind of think essentially what Osprey's just said, that some people never get along, and it's not that I wouldn't want things to de-escalate, obviously I would, but you kind of know it's just going to keep ramping up at this point. Both sides seem to be as bull-headed as what the other, you know, and I've got no bone in the fight, let's just play like that. I mean, I haven't heard about anything like that, I'll be honest. Like I say, I've not really paid close attention, but yeah, like I say, I would like if things did de-escalate. Yeah, for the record, when I say de-escalation, I do mean like to a ground halt. You know, not necessarily just easing off the violence. I do mean actually get de-escalating to a stop. But yeah. That ain't happening. Well, at least it doesn't seem to be. I mean, I try not to think about the grand scheme of what it could mean. There ain't a lot I can do about it, so why dwell on it? No point worrying about World War III when, to be honest, it could already have started. We just don't know. Yeah, I actually saw a post yesterday on BBC News, I think it was. Oh no, Sky News, whatever. It was a person in Florida saying that they weren't going to listen to the advice regarding, you know, getting away from the area that's anticipated to be the worst affected. They were essentially just saying, I'm just going to sit it out and do some TikToking. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I've heard some stereotypes about people from Florida in the past, and I actually wrote on my guild's Discord because I thought there's a few Americans in there and probably a few even from Florida. And I said, is this a stereotype that I'm thinking that's typical, or is that genuinely how people think there? And someone said, yeah, that is kind of what they're like. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, all I cross my fingers and toes for is the fact that we never have to deal with anything like that here. You know, I'm not saying I don't have sympathy for other places affected, but it's like I feel like we have our challenges here, so adding more on, it genuinely frightens me. I can imagine that being a headline, Osprey. I could imagine it. A bit like Grandpa Simpson. Let's do that. I mean, I will be honest, I don't really know what to say to that, Drafts. I mean, yeah, I mean, tornadoes, you don't want them in any shape or form. Right, let's do this, and hang on, I don't need to reinforce. Why am I looking at that? This is like the friendliest way to face a Leviathan. It's like it's had its fangs taken out. Again, I don't know myself. You know, it's like I could believe it, you know, global warming, all that kind of stuff, but genuinely, I don't know the reasons. I'm not a scientist. If only it was as simple as me putting my plastic into the recycling bin was helping to stop it. Just while I'm waiting for a battle, I want to show this because it's kind of different for me. This is how my screen's looking over here. And it's really streamlined now. Like, I've got my ads up here. It's a bit OTT how much is up here, but I've got a clearer idea of like how many ad breaks there are and whatnot. I've got Twitch over here. I've got YouTube over here. There's been followers and whatnot. I can track them in this panel. If I need to change the scene manually and I haven't got like a command for it, I can just tab them here. Got YouTube chat up here. Got some other little bits and bobs on this side as well. It's kind of nice and streamlined. I mean, I don't know if it'll be something I get used to quick, because I've been used to having like a ton more info on my screen, but the beauty of it is, if I just screen grab my monitor, which I think I can. Oh, and I've probably done 2 screenshots doing that. Probably. There it is. Oops. But yeah, that's how it's looking for me now. I've got OBS and all that kind of stuff there, and then I've got like a little web window there, so it's kind of nice and streamlined. Like I say, I've got what I need where I need it. I could always open up something else in Chrome if I needed to. Like I can put my GA plan there, for instance. So it just kind of looks nice. This is just from faffing around, if you like. You know, like I'd been out last night. Chris, who's sometimes in the chat, he asked me for a drink. So I'd been jabbering away with him for like a couple hours, and then got back. And I don't know why, I just had this spurt of just wanting to do things like this. Certainly one of the happier times in my sort of content creating kind of time, when I just had that little spurt of wanting to do stuff. I say content creating kind of stuff because I resist calling myself a content creator because I don't do enough of it. At least lately. Alright, so that's one turn for Ahsoka. Is the game loud or is it just me? Maybe it's just those sound effects, they're kind of loud because there's not a lot else. I don't really know why there's not a lot else. Alright, so we lose Kenobi. It was just to keep her controlled. I'll say controlled. Controlled's really overselling it, but it's essentially just force of habit. I mean, if I target Kenobi, arguably I could get him out before the leap, but I don't know, it didn't seem like a priority. Especially for a squad arena battle. Alright, that seems a bit idiotic from the AI. Yeah. You know, Cat's stunned and low on health, yet they put the damage immunity on Plo. Strange. Yeah, I can understand the lure of Padme. I think there's probably something to that. Don't think I've got anything to do here. Managed to get Halloran to Relic 3. Finished my Luminaria kit, so they're both now R5. But I've actually been able to do like a full R5 Lumi team, thankfully, so I feel like that's the max I need to do for the raid. So, Halloran, Paz, IG, they're the focus for the next month. I won't be able to do Bo-Katan next time she comes around. After that, I would want to get Padme, and Master Qui-Gon built up. And after that, it's full focus Leviathan. And Omega's just looking here saying, when are you going to actually work on me? I imagine GK and a raid team is annoying. Probably some annoyance there with him constantly popping up a taunt. Saying that, I remember when Ray first came out and it was almost a meme how GK was like universal synergy. Let me snooze this. Got some curtains hanging on my washing line, or you know, to dry, and yeah, its dual camera keeps picking them up. Thinks it's something big. Alright, jig. The jig is up. Oh, I hope this is okay. It doesn't taste right. Well, that's like salt. I just hope that was a bad first sip. Yes, something salty there. Yeah. It's the cup. Bloody hell. The other side. Yeah. That's gonna be awkward. Must have been from when I changed the salt in the dishwasher and it just didn't rinse well enough when it was on an empty cycle. You need to focus more on your speed mods, but the allure of even more offense substats is hard to resist. I know what you mean as far as I wouldn't say I'm thinking about speed in particular in right now, but I have been focusing on offense stats, trying to get more of them built up to have good speed stats. So it's kind of the same territory, but just different ways of looking at it. You're going more for secondaries, I'm looking for more actual mod sets. But I feel like offense is definitely worth keeping in mind. I don't even know how many 6%ers I've got right now. I'll have it on me compare. That's a bit better. Yeah, let's do that. $24. Ooh, wow. I think at the most I had 4. That is impressive. Yeah, I've probably gone the other way there. I've got like 70 odd on my main and 40 odd on my free to play. I'm actually curious now what my numbers are, because I haven't actually paid attention to it for a while. You probably found it out before me. Yeah, for 6% offense on my main account, 34% offense. So that's not too bad, I guess. Salmon at Crimson even. Crimson's got 5 6%ers and 26 4%ers. Bit of a difference between us. Right, while this is going on, I am just going to log out the game a minute. Let's just make sure Tammon's keeping up. I don't know where I am now. I mean, just going back to mods a minute. It is something I'm trying to work on as far as just trying to get more well-rounded mods. But I think, for myself anyway, the biggest issue is I still have to prioritize speed. I mean, it feels like speed will always be the winner in the game. You know, and if you try and focus too much on something like offense secondaries, you're risking not having the actual most important thing. But I completely get why you go for it. It's just, I feel like I haven't got that luxury. That idea of like speed as an arms race. Yeah, for sure. I mean, why would you? Alright, we're actually doing good here. I wasn't sure, but I managed to get to second yesterday. I was a bit late doing my climb. So it looks like they've just let me hang here. I need to have a look and see what mods I've got that have probably got good offense percentage. I mean, I'm going... Let me win this battle, and then we'll do it. We'll have a look. There we go. Yeah, there is that thing as well. I mean, I know for myself, I'd always rather hit speed than offense. You know, it's not that I don't value offense. It's just, it's probably the one I value most after speed, and maybe health after that. But yeah, I feel like speed is always just the one you want to shoot for. If you're talking about rolls and slices and all that jazz. But the thing is, if you are getting offense instead of speed, it's still a good secondary roll. Alright, nice and easy. Okay, if I go find slices, we do stat speed, secondary stat, offense percentage, and make sure it's got my correct count. Okay, that's not bad. So if I were to just back out of here for a minute, the first one it's recommending is on Marek right now. It says faction? Don't think it's that. That's the one. Yeah, so tenacity, crit chance, offense, speed. I mean, in principle, that's decent. And we actually got a speed roll. I mean, I'll take that. Just for like a swing and a hopeful hit kind of roll. So yeah, I might have a look at that list. See how it's going. Yeah, I'll be doing the gap today. Just... I wouldn't say I'm slow getting to it, it's just I've got to do my fleet climb as always. Oh, did forget that. Okay. Just while I've got a second, let me do this because it's nagging me. I noticed he's joined Desert Hermits. I didn't see the story on that as far as... I don't know if it was a private conversation or if there was just like a memo that I missed in one of the officer rooms, but yeah, I did notice. Oh, didn't mean that. I mean, still, hitting 5 and 5 and getting speed and offense percent, that's good, even if it's not what you would want in like the perfect world, you know. Like complaining that you had a date with a blonde hot bombshell kind of thing, but then it was like, oh, but she had a funny voice. You know, it's like, well, what more do you want? One's about as stereotypical as could get there. Alright, let's go here. Come on. Yeah, exactly. I mean, speed and offense, that's just brill for Slacker anyway. So even if it's not like the highest of percentages, it's still good. And just thinking out loud, potentially you could try and slice the percentage if you were desperate for it. You know, trying to hit the percentage again. My knowledge is in JM. He might have 2 accounts, one in JM, one not. But as far as I know, he's in JM. Saw him put a ping out the other day for ask people to remember the rules. Yeah, he's an officer. I'll put it like this, I know he's been very vocal on Discord in the role of an officer. I mean, ever since I moved here, I've been trying my best to keep my nose out of officer affairs. I mean, like, if there's something generally chit-chatty, I might just comment, you know, just to join in a little, but when people are talking about, like, officer business, I try and keep my head out of it. It's only because I'm an admin on the server I can see in the room. Why I'm an admin, I don't know, because the last thing you want is me messing around with things. Maybe I'm a guinea pig. Oh, I've just realised I should have run that bloody ad break. I mean, 5.55 is still decent in it. How I view it, I've not heard a single peep from any officer, and if it's about players, then I think then they need to look at their own participation. That's my view, simple as, you know. Again, I think to myself, I'd rather someone like yourself who participates and does dailies, make sure they're growing their account versus someone who's less active. Alright, might as well just go here while the ad break's running. I'd won the battle. So, I did do some planning for GAC, just for those of you who can hear me. I'm not entirely sure what will come out of it, as far as it's a new season, new teams will probably be down. But if it's things that I can face, right? If it's things I can't, we might have issues. But that's the given when you have a new season, so we'll see. We'll see how we get on. Exactly. I don't know if you can hear me, Drafts, but exactly. We're doing good for time, aren't we? 34 minutes. 2 battles? But yeah, just like I typed, you're doing all that can be asked of. If anyone's got a problem with that, then they're more than welcome to go find another guild. I mean, this is me speaking, not... Obviously, I'm not an officer there now, but that would be my mentality. And as far as I know, no one in the officers group has got a different viewpoint. Like I say, I might not comment, but I do keep an eye out for what's being said. got more than that. Yeah, exactly. I mean, those tickets are really important. People really don't understand it at times. I mean, take while I've been here, right? We've run maybe 4 raids. Let me think. It's either 4 or 3 raids we've run. That's it. It is 4 raids, but I've only been able to take a part in 3, I think. And honestly, the speed at which we've been getting them here, because we're all pretty much getting 600 a day or something like that. It's been very consistent in terms of doing the raid, getting currency back in. Whereas if you've got people getting less tickets and you're raiding less, your progress gets slower. Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure it has been about that cadence. If not 6, maybe 7. So it's like we had ours Sunday, Monday, so I think it is about every 7 days we've been doing it. So probably just a bit shy of max, but I'll take once a week. That's not too bad. Especially when you think 3 days of it you're actually doing the raid. I'm seriously considering uploading this run I did for the raid. Can I bring this up without breaking my game? Here we go. This is like all my files and whatnot. You know, because people obviously want that. But this was the raid run I did on Monday, was it? What date is it? 6th? 9, 8, 7. No, Sunday. Sunday, there we go. And if you can see the length, which might be a bit small on your screen, 1 hour and 8 minutes. And if I just open it on VLC, if I just scroll along, you'll see the entire time was me trying to get a good RNG run for Quadme. And it's absolutely ridiculous, the RNG at times. I mean, I got it, I got the 3.6, but the fact that it took me 1 hour and 8 minutes, I said an hour and 18 when I was quoting, but 10 minutes out, but still, it's absolutely ridiculous. Nothing in a video game should take an hour of RNG to complete. You know, you can forgive 8 minutes for the actual attempt, you know, in the sense of, alright, you know, it takes a bit of time to go through it, but once you've done it, you've done it. But an hour and 8 is just... Max damage you can get per run, how much? Do you mean like with all my attempts? My main gets, well, I'm scoring the highest in my guild, 7.32, 0.32 even. Yeah, so 3.8 here. Yeah, and that one I did 3.6 with Quadme. So, you know, it was worth it. It did more than the half, well, yeah, it did about half my damage. But I stand by it. It shouldn't take that much time out of your day. You need to look into it. Because you can accept RNG, but it's the amount of RNG. It's like, maybe it'd be better if the command droid was more consistent in what it did, so you're able to plan your move around it better. But the fact that you can decide to take bonus turns out of nowhere. If you have every team, how much you can make and damage. Yeah, I just showed them there, didn't I? It was about 7.2 and 3 point something. Slooty Storm, thank you for the follow. Hello there. Just a little spooky alert for the season. But yeah, I'm doing quite well on Tammin. I've got quite a good amount. If you increase the command droid cooldown by 1, it would help a lot with the raid. I'd agree there as well. I mean, I think the Dispel can just be so annoying when, especially if it comes out of nowhere. You know, if you feel like with the Luminara run, I actually felt like, let me get this right. I did the Darth Maul battle on... That was it. I did the Darth Maul battle on my free-to-play here on Tuesday, I think it was. That took me about 15 to 18 minutes with RNG, and I thought, all right, that's the hard one out of the way. I got good RNG. But then I did Luminara, and I think that took me about half an hour because I kept getting bad times on dispels. I don't know why we got another Halloween noise, but okay. Hello there. Yeah, again, I think I'd be like that if it was consistent. I think you could plan around it so much better. Who's number 6, just out of curiosity? Darth Cross. Go on, we'll go there. Yeah, I completely agree, Wolverine. I'm not suggesting they will change Naboo, but I do hope whatever the next raid is, they keep it in mind. You know, because surely they're still in an early enough point of design that they can alter things. And I'm like, just lower the time it takes to do the raid. I mean, how many people do you think in the last, 6 months have quit the game purely because of time sink? You look and you think the raid is one of the biggest time sinks. Conquest is another. If you're in the top end guild, TW will be another on top. It's like, I just look and I think, come on, they've got to address one of these time sinks at least. And arguably PvE is easier to address than PvP. You know, if they address PvP, they're going to have to completely revamp game modes. Whereas PvE, at least they can just tweak things a little bit. Yeah, I will agree there with Conquest. I mean, I'm one of Conquest's biggest critics, I feel. But I can't deny I got through it pretty fast this time around and last month. I mean, I was finished on my main account by Saturday. And I think yesterday, I'm going to say I finished on my free-to-play. I'd got box 6, which I wasn't really expecting to go full, but I saw how easy it would be to get it. So I was like, go on, I'll push on a little bit. But I don't really feel an urge to go any faster there. Let's hit you. Yeah, like I say, I mean, I will not argue with anyone who complains about Conquest because, like I say, it's one of my pet peeves in the game. But again, I will give it where I will give it its due that this one wasn't too bad. I try not to take unfair swings on the game. And if we're being frank as well, I think if you got the Great Mothers, like if you wailed on them, it would have been even easier as far as 2 Night Sister teams to split. Yeah, I think as well, it didn't help that this came off the back of Speederbike, because by comparison, that was a piece of cake. And I know people found it boring, but I honestly was like, I don't care, it's boring, it's easy to do, I can just kind of... The only one I had to look at was the first one with Leia, and that was just get the cheat sheet out of my folder here and just copy just do what it said. But everything else was either full auto or just basically 2 buttons. So for me, that was perfect. I loved it. Whereas I can understand why people might not have liked Crate by comparison. Yeah, I mean, for me, I think it all depends what you want out of a raid. I mean, Crate did have some interesting mechanics, but I think the issue there was it was just so frustrating having to do it as often as we did. I know if you went to the current cadence, it wouldn't be as bad. I think it was still a bit frustrating. Yeah, I think that's it. It was bad gameplay, I'm not defending that, but I didn't mind it because you could auto it, or at least you could mostly auto it. Yeah. Again, I'm not going to defend it that crazily, but if you said to me, right, if Speed Bike had Mark 3 now, would you do that? I would do that any day of the week. You know, it's like, why would you go through Naboo like it is now when you could just basically do a full auto run on Endor? Alright, I was checking things were working. I'm still a bit para. $23 for one battle. Not too bad. I can take second on here. On my main, I'm short on crystals. It took me 3 Gamba packs to get the Marek shards I needed. That wasn't great. I got 5,000 crystals, and that took me down below 1,000. So, yeah, I wasn't happy about that. Well, hang on. 1,300. Yeah, it couldn't have been 5,000. I must have been at 4,000. Oh, I'm nearly at the end here. So yeah, we got JAC coming up. I'm pretty sure one of my opponents in one of my brackets has got the Great Mothers. Let me just have a quick gander. Yeah, I think it's Crimson's bracket. Yeah, one of Crimson's potential opponents has got them. But other than that, we seem good in that regard. Hammond's does seem a bit stacked by comparison. Like, today's opponent's pretty bulky. Like, we'll go through the compare in a minute, just show you all that, but there's a bit of a concern. I think I'm slowly getting squeezed out of Kyber 2 on my main. Just ever so slowly. My main, it's like my free-to-play has been Kyber 3 for a couple of months now. I don't think I'm anywhere close to pushing up there. So that's a bit of a concern. But I don't really know what I can do because, you know, I'm trying my best, but I keep having these really tough matchups. So yeah, just gotta take the rough with the smooth. I'm going to be glad when I've got Raver on my main. I've got, I think it's 17 shards I need, and we're going to get them next TB. Well, if not, I'm going to be a little bit frustrated. So, yeah, I've started hoarding gear. I've got an Omicron in the bank waiting. I've got 2 Zetas, hopefully I can get a 3rd by then. Is she a triple Zeta character? I think she is. Yeah, triple Zeta. So I'm hoping I can get her to at least, I say at least R7 as a bare minimum, just for the fact that that is kind of where I always, at minimum, try and get these kind of characters. But if I can get the materials, I want to take it to at least R8. R9 would be the goal to work her to, but I'm not sure I'll get her there that quick. But saying that, I am farming Fusion Furnaces right now. I've got enough to get the Gear 12 pieces on her. So I'm hoping if I farm a few more in the next week or so, I can get some good keypads with them. And I'm sure I've got enough Droid Brains for her as well, so at that point it's just have I got enough impulse detectors. and Zimbindles. God, you go through them in your head and you're like, God, it demands a lot. 50 Zimbindles for an R9 to take someone to R9. It ain't cheap. But equally, there's that bit of me thinking, if I've got Raver, it should open up either a few counters for me on offense, or it's a really tough team on defense. Because they're going to do better regardless compared to what Grand Inquisitor's doing right now. I feel like I've just about managed to cope with that. Zimbindle Bobs. I feel like that's a cute little nickname for him. Zimbindly Bobs. Alright. I'll take an anti-JMK. Number of times JMK is my bane. I don't know why, but I had to think on that. Alright, I'm glad I checked on that. For some reason, even though I changed it, I might have an idea of what's happened. I might. Alright. Let me do this battle and I'm going to try and fix that. I've set it up so that the clock will disappear when I move my camera. But, obviously, it forgot. R3, hello there. Will you have mods for Raver? I always forget to plan for that bit. I think the safe thing would be I have not got a mod set planned for her, but what I always do when I get a new character is I just filter through my mods that I can spare. So, like, I'll have tunes that are locked in, like I'll never switch their mods. And then I've got ones that I kind of dip into when I know a new thing's coming out I need to work on. So yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll end up just nicking mods off characters who are less of a priority. I mean, usually when I get a Galactic Legend, I essentially unlock everything that isn't a GL or connected to a GL. So, it's always been a shame because there's been some instances where I've had like really nice fast characters. Like take Cara Dune, at one point she was like 356, it was like lightning fast. And when I remodded for, I think it was Leia, I did nick mods off because I just couldn't justify having a good Cara when I needed to mod Leia right. Also, this was before Cara was kind of needed away from Mon Mothma, so at the time it was good having a pretty fast Cara. Let's do that. Just about hung in there. A little bit unemployed, yeah. I think I've put her on defense this round, I think. If I haven't, I was thinking about it for sure. Yeah, I'll be honest, I couldn't think what the correct Luthen team was going to be. I have placed Mon and Luthen down. And I know people have said, oh, you want to make sure you got Powcron in there, and I'm like, it feels wrong to have Powcron in a Mon Mothma team with Luthen because you're not using the Luthencron. So yeah, I was umming and ahhing over it. Okay. You put Luthen with Saw. My Saw's not that great, so I can't really afford that yet, but I can see where that would work. I mean, mine's year 12 still. So I keep saying I'm going to work on Saw at some point, because I know he's got some viability. It's just again, finding that time. I mean, the biggest thing I can say I'm happy with at the moment is that even though I'm pausing farming right now because of Raver, I have got all my JMK tunes. Yes, I haven't got JMK on my main, as a reminder. I've got them all at Gear 12 minimum. So I've still got working Karatech, which is a pain, but everything else is just Gear 12 pieces, which isn't bad, and it means any of that gear that might be useful is going somewhere else. Alright, bear with me a second, getting a phone call.
1782 672 948 for Joshua Flint.